taking over the world one nerd at a time. Total Nerd Takeover.
Hello, Chris Gray here, and I got a video review for you. Now, I love doing my unboxing videos. I love doing my educational videos. I also love doing live streaming on my Facebook page and on my personal Facebook. I also do live streaming when I do some of my podcast stuff. And I've been waiting for this product. It's called the Mevo by the company called Livestream. Now, I've been dying to get my hands on this. I pre-ordered this months ago, and I am so excited to get it. And I'm going to unbox this thing, and we're going to test it out. We're going to play with it. And I'm hoping that not only will I be able to enhance my live streaming, but also use it for my YouTube channel and some of the other video review work and the other kind of videos that I do. So I'm really hoping to get a lot out of this product. Now, let's take a look at this thing and see what's inside of it. All right, so let's look inside, because this is where the magic is. So at first glance, I love the way the packaging is. It reminds me a lot of Apple. Now, here is the actual camera itself. There was a protective plastic that I already peeled off prior to recording this part of the video. It has a 4K sensor built into it, but the output is about 720p. It's still high definition, but it's not quite as high as I would like it to be. But you know what? You're doing live streaming, and I don't know if they can change that in a software or firmware update, or maybe in a pro version they'll come out with maybe 1080p or an actual full 4K version, which I'm going to have to get because I'm just a nerd about this stuff. Anyway, so at closer inspection, here in the front we have a speaker as well as a microphone built inside as well. And I believe that the microphone inside is an array microphone. And we're going to hear how that sounds in just a few minutes. On the bottom here in this area is a magnet so that you can mount this to either the mount it comes with, or there is like a battery upgrade accessory you can buy, I think on their website, for about $250. And right in here is a like a connection port, whatever you want to call it. And that is so that battery can give juice to this unit. Because I believe with the battery that's in it, it's a 1200 milliamp hour battery, or equals to about 1 hour of live video streaming. All right, now let's look at the top. On the top we have a power button, and of course this ring here is basically one big LED. On the back here we have where the SD card goes. It comes with a 16 gigabyte micro SD card, which is really awesome that they included that. Here we have a micro USB for power or maybe connecting other accessories. Now on the back here we have an indicator. It shows like a signal strength. I believe that's for the signal strength for either Wi-Fi or however you have it connected. And there's an LED ring here on the top, which will give you an idea of what level you have. On the right side of that is a symbol for the battery. And of course this will glow on this side depending on the battery life you have. I believe green is full, but we're going to have to take a closer look because this is the first time I've actually fully unboxed it. I kind of play with it a little bit, but I haven't hooked anything up really. Here's a quick start guide telling you how to quickly get connected to the Mevo. And as far as I know, at least at the time of this recording, you can only hook an iPhone to it. All right, here we have the mounting bracket / stand for the Mevo. Now, it's basically going to connect with a magnet, and there's also a little bit of tape on the bottom here that with like a sticker that shows you what you can do with the bottom. It has an adapter in it so that you can connect this to either a microphone stand or a regular tripod. That is absolutely awesome. Just peel that off, and that shows the adjusting screw. You would just take your finger and you can just unscrew this piece here, and then you can change it to whichever size you need. To get this mounting bracket or stand onto your Mevo, it's super easy. You have this like cutout here. That'll go in the back, and it just magnetizes right on. That way you still have access to your micro USB connector for power or whatnot. Now there's also a lock here, so it will lock the Mevo from coming off of the stand. All right, so in this part of the box is your wall adapter. It is a USB to the micro USB. And Livestream was nice enough to make this a 10-foot, roughly 10-foot cable, so you have some room between where you need to plug in and where you need to run your video. The Mevo comes with a micro SD card. It's 16 gigabytes. I think it's nice that they put that in there, and of course you can expand it. The Mevo is compatible with SDHC and SDXC, which is pretty cool. You also get the SanDisk adapter. I also wanted to mention that there are two versions of the Mevo as of the time of this recording. The black with the red accent, and there's also a white one. It's time to set up the Mevo so we can either start live streaming or making some videos. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to recommend is going into your settings and making sure your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are both turned on. The Bluetooth is how you're initially going to connect to the Mevo. Now, let's go into the App Store and find the Mevo app. I'm going to be using my iPad, but it's going to be very similar to the iPhone. You go up and search, type in Mevo. You can see it pops, you'll get a list of different options. I'm going to select Mevo, the live camera, event camera, and that's the one right there. I've already taken the liberty of downloading it. This is what the app first looks like when it launches. Make sure your Mevo is turned on, and it's going to pop you onto this screen right here. Connecting to your Mevo is very easy. There are a few different ways you can do this. First, I'm going to show you how to connect to your Wi-Fi network in your home. If you look at this white menu screen here, on the bottom right is a picture of a wrench and some Wi-Fi symbol bars. We're going to press on that. All right, it brings us to this Mevo network setting screen. In this screen, we're going to turn off the hotspot feature. The hotspot feature is another way you can connect your Mevo. If you're out and about doing live streaming, say at a baseball game or at a concert, you'll want to use the hotspot feature. What that means is your Mevo will hotspot to your iPhone or your iPad and will send your live stream feed through your data connection plan with your cell phone provider. Just be careful when you do that, because if you go over the allotted amount of data you have, which is easy to do, you could get billed with overage charges depending on your carrier. So let's go back to setting up on our personal Wi-Fis. So we're going to go here where it says Mevo Hotspot, turn off to join a Wi-Fi network. We're going to tap on that, we're going to turn it off. And it's now going to apply that setting change. Now we need to select a Wi-Fi network. So we're going to tap on the next menu selection here. It says Wi-Fi networks. I'm going to select the one I want to use. I'm going to use the top one, and it's going to probably ask me for a password. Now, I'm just going to put in my password. You do the same for your Wi-Fi network. Hit connect, and now your Mevo will connect to that part of your Wi-Fi. All right, now that we're all set up and connected to our Wi-Fi, we can press the connect button, and it'll activate the camera and fire up the Mevo, so we can start live streaming or recording to our SD card. So now, as you can see, here I am in the camera. You're seeing me through my iPad. That's why it looks a little bit blurry, a little bit strange, and you can kind of see the background around me. I'm going to point out some of the features and the menu options here, and then I'm going to actually use the Mevo so you can see what the video will look like. Now, as you're seeing on the screen, you'll see a blue box kind of appearing, and that is what the Mevo is kind of focusing on, and it's looking for a face because it's automatically set to find faces. If you look on the screen on the very top right corner, you'll see a little window with some green lines going up and down. That is actually what would be recording or what is being seen by the live stream at the moment. Those lines going up and down are that's the audio level going into the Mevo through the microphone. So right now I don't have any of that stuff turned on and I'm not recording. So what I'm going to do is, if I want to change what the Mevo is focusing on, I can just tap on the screen and drag that blue square over to, like, let's say behind my iMac here, and I'll get a little bit of Kratos from God of War in there. Now it will shift, the screen should start shifting over if you look at the top right hand part of the video. As it moves over nice and slow, kind of pans over to behind my iMac. So I'm going to drag that square back over to my face so it'll go back towards my face. And it does it in a nice smooth way. Now I can also zoom in and out by using 2 fingers and zooming in and out. Very simple to do. And then I'll zoom back in on my face, kind of get a little bit more close up. And it will slowly zoom in, and then it'll kind of speed up, and then a nice speed. So this is like having several cameramen in the palm of your hand. Very, very awesome. On the screen, you'll probably see on the bottom left-hand corner, there is a big red button. That's the record button. If I press that button, it will record whatever the camera is looking at and however I want to maneuver what the focus is, and if there's other people in the video, I can switch between faces. So there's some other options here as well. On the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that there's 2 arrows pointing out with 2 lines. If I press that, that instantly opens up the view for the entire field of view, for the whole range. And it's automatically doing that right now as it's trying to watch my face and watch how I'm doing things. So now there's another button over here. It's like, it's 6 squares. If I press that, that is going to give me a very interesting feature. So I think that this isn't fully working because the software is still kind of in beta, but each one of those blocks will have a scene in it. And I can then select from the screen which I want to record, and I can just quickly switch between the scenes. And of course, that'll make things super easy. That's like having, let's see, there's 9 here? That's like having 9 cameramen. So it's going to give me all kinds of different angles that I can focus on. Doesn't seem to be fully working right now. I don't know why that is. I'll have to play around with it some more. Now, the next options we have here on the screen are 3 little dots, and that's going to bring us into some more mode and options. On the far right, we have the A button, which I believe, yep, okay, that's the automatic camera assistant. So I have everything turned on to automatic. Automatically find people, automatically autopilot moving and switching between the shots. So if somebody else came into the video, it would find their face, and then it could go between the 2 of us, giving you a more interesting viewpoint. Now I'm going to press this arrow down here on the right, and I'm going to go to the microphone. Now in the microphone section here, you can either have the audio come from the iPhone or from the Mevo, and then you can adjust the amount of decibels that are allowed into the recording. This is extremely powerful, especially if you're going to be doing what I will, connecting it to a mixer. So when I connect it to a mixer, I'm going to tap on iPhone, or in this case it'll be my iPad, and it will pull audio from my iPad. Now if I plug a 3.5 millimeter jack into my iPad, it will then pull the audio through that 3.5 millimeter jack. Now I'm going to look at the next section. We have filters. Black and white, that's always a good filter to have, right? That's nice. We have vivid. Ooh, that looks kind of nice. We got a vivid filter, and we have sepia. So you have a lot of different options built into the Mevo camera. I'm going to go back to normal here because I definitely don't look good in sepia. All right, now I'm going to go back in and see what other kind of features I have. Now, if I hit the play button, that will give me the ability to play things I've already recorded. So that's what's on my SD card right now. All right, so that's what's in my library. I pre-recorded and experimented. Now we have another button over here, which is a square with an arrow going off to the right, and it's grayed out. I'm not entirely sure why. I'll have to play with that later. And of course, we have a gear button, which means settings. So I'm going to press on the settings and go through some of these settings. On the very top, you can see the Mevo. We can change the name. If you press on that little pencil, we can change the name of the Mevo. We could call it Mevo T. There we go. We got the Mevo T. How awesome is that? That's cool. Great. It shows you the Wi-Fi strength. It shows you the battery life, and I have this thing plugged in to charge at the moment. And it also shows me how much room I have on the SD card, the micro SD card that's in the Mevo. We have your general settings here. You have your networks, your live streaming information. So if you have a live stream account or your Facebook Live, and there's different settings in there as well. Your general settings, the light ring that's on the very top of the Mevo, what you want that to do, and what you want the speaker to do. So you can adjust all these different things. Very, very cool. Now we have this auto wide on app disconnect. I think this is good to have on because if the app somehow disconnects when you're doing a recording, then it will auto wide and it will still record, and then you just can reconnect the app. You also have the option to format your SD card, go right into your library. And then we can also adjust what the Mevo button does as well. We can also make some changes in the user interface as well as add a password. And then we can go back and we have advanced settings. And in here we can correct for white balance, which I have set to auto. I'm going to leave it for auto. Anti-flicker, I'm going to leave that to auto. A lot of this stuff I'm going to leave on auto or medium, and I'm not really going to mess with this too much. You also have the ability to reset everything back to its default settings. You have an About section, and you have support as well, and then you have the Shutdown Mevo button. Okay, so now I am recording with just the Mevo camera, and you can hear what the audio quality sounds like. I'm not using any of the fancy microphones in the studio at the moment. Just a microphone in the Mevo. And what you're seeing is you're seeing the autopilot as it switches between the different shots to give you something else to look at besides just right on my face. You're probably going to see a wide angle of the studio. It does 150 degrees field of view, so that means you're probably going to see a good long bit of the studio here. I can also, while I'm doing this video recording, I can use the iPad, and while I'm in the iPad, I can actually change what you're seeing on the fly. So if I was doing this live, I could do this live as well. I can change. So I'm going to change what you're seeing right now. I'm going to go over to my headphones, like over there, I think, and it's going to slowly pan what you're going to see over. And now I can zoom in on those headphones, and it will give you a nice slow, nice zoom in. I really like how that works. Now the autopilot will turn back on, and as I'm talking, it's hearing my voice. It's going to try to fire right back to my face. So I'm very, very impressed, and I know that the app is still kind of in a beta phase, so to speak. They're still kind of updating things, but right off the bat, I'm super excited about this camera, and I can't wait to do more work with it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off autopilot, and I'm going to turn off the facial recognition, and I'm just going to move the camera around the studio and zoom in and out on a few different things just so you can get an idea of the control. And you can see how the zoom kind of focuses in and then kind of as it focuses out as the focus. I'm going to move my iPad over here to make this a little bit easier. Alright, so I'm going to focus in, and I'm going to bring it right into my face, and we'll see what happens on the camera. It should be bringing you right in. Now I can kind of blow it back out, blow the camera back out again. So the zoom is pretty quick. It kind of starts out slow and then speeds up, which I really like. And then you can zoom it out, and I think it does kind of the same thing. Zooms out slow and then pulls it out faster. I think that that's some kind of professional thing. Now I can move the field of view over slightly, so now you can see the hair light in the studio. I can then pull that out so you don't see it anymore by taking that out of the view. Just by using my two fingers, I can move around and change the different angles you see. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change on the fly the filter. So I'm going to go black and white. So now I'm going to be black and white. Very, very cool. And I can change it to vivid right on the fly, just like I showed you a little bit earlier. Now you get some really vivid colors. It kind of looks strange. And then I can go to sepia, and now it looks like real old-timey Western kind of look, right? Like a rose gold color. All right, we're going to go back to normal, and then we're going to switch to what I want to check now is the audio. So I'm going to plug my mixer into my iPad, and I'm going to ask it to take the audio from my 3.5 millimeter jack and see if it sounds different from the Mevo to my shotgun mic that I've been using for this whole video. Alright, so now my volume is coming through my shotgun microphone, and I hope it's not overpowering because I haven't had a chance to really adjust anything. But I can adjust how many decibels I allow in on the app by just running my finger down the amount of decibels. So that would be the loudness that you would hear. Now you're hearing me through that shotgun microphone, and I'm going to tap on it so you can hear the noise. Now if I want to, I can unplug this, and I can go right from the microphone from the iPad. Now you can hear me on the iPad speaker, which I can also adjust the volume in and out as well. And when I did that, I got a message saying that the speaker on the iPad has been muted, so we don't get any kind of weird feedback. Or if I get a notification, it won't ding in the recording. Okay, so I'm going to end the video using the Mevo microphone, and I gotta say, I am super impressed. Livestream, thank you so much for making this camera. I'm going to use this in the studio and do all kinds of crazy shenanigans, as well as enhance my live Facebook videos. I can't tell you how excited I've been waiting for this camera. I'm super excited. Oh boy. What can I do? I don't know, but we're going to get into some serious trouble here. So I want to thank you again for taking the time to watch this very, very long video. I know it was long, I'm sorry, but I really wanted to show you and give you an in-depth view of how everything works. So I am so grateful that you took the time to watch this video. Now, if you'd like to support me here at the studio, I'm going to have an Amazon affiliate link for the Mevo in the description if you would like to buy it. There's no extra charge to you, but it helps to support me here at the studio. And you too could own this entire studio in the palm of your hand, because it's like having 5, 6, 9 different cameramen in your hand. The only thing I want you to remember is when you're doing live streaming on your iPhone or on your iPad, if you have data, it'll run your data usage up, so be careful you don't get any overcharge there. And it only outputs, as of the time of this recording, at 720p recording. So I want to thank you again for checking out this video, and I'll see you next time for another video review.